On to China print, the nation's at first business flying to Antarctica driven 22 happy tourists to the exotics purpose the weekend. The travel is vaunted as a landmark, but is it very? And which does it speak us on China's geopolitical ambitions in the area? Outlined in China papers as the start of a new era in the nation's travel to Antarctica, the travel took the choose few of post-Kong all the way to the factual southward polar. How intended a 15-time flying to southward Africa, fueling in Cloak City and later else 5.5 several hours to Antarctica. Of where, he's else 5 to 6 several hours to the polar, wherever the flying mundane on a lane cut in the ice pack. The China round carrier describes the travel as a landmark. Proverb it will China tourists no much longer include to volume via overseas agencies. But how lot of a at first was it very? The leg of Cloak City ahead was in reality organized by White's Abandon, a round carrier who giving such a trips to the polar on a routine base. How tool it was quite a company operation among a China round organizer and one of the set players relying in southward Africa. Does a travel how length hit you as thing of an hardship? Fair believe how the normal visitor path is considerably much longer. Header to the 7 mainland by aircraft is the exclusion quite rather than the guideline. Nearly all tourists go by ship, characteristically of Argentina's southernmost seaport of Ushuaia. Else stock option is of New Zealand, a path frequently selected by human beings concerned in a more than historic route trace the footsteps of renowned history explorers love Sir Ernest Shackleton for copy. Why do human beings wish to go where? Where are lot reasons, she says. To several human beings he's just a ladle listing item, he's his 7 mainland and they wish to checkmark it away. Other go for the living nature but normally end up creature more than amazed and suppressed by the ice and the impressive landscapes, she tell. Journey time of year is for the Antarctic year of November before the end of March. Which's the cost label? The cheapest options will price you about $5,000, £3,750, house by ship of Ushuaia, so thou'll yet include a significant further air travel expenses fare to get to Argentina. On the entire, guest numbers are departure up. Following possessing achieved an all-time top of 46,265 visitors in the 2007 to 2008 time of year, guest numbers omitted in the next year due to the world economical meltdown. But numbers include been constantly on the growth once again above the history year. Recent time of year 44,367 tourists attended the mainland and numbers are anticipated to hold growing. The World Associate of Antarctic Round Operators, IAATO, was created to contribute a secure and ecologically accountable travel production and plant close in the Antarctic contract parties, that is a association of more than rather than 50 countries together steering the mainland. The round operators are next really stringent guidance laid down by the organization, on to Ms. Linz. One such a guideline for instances is how where can never be more than rather than 100 human beings on beach at any one disembarkation spot at any one period. One day on Earth where are as well stringent rules, though detail how shut you are permitted to go up to a penguin. The is really symbolical, explains Dr. Nanjai Liu of the College of Adelaide. It bonds in the greater image of China receive more than and more than vigorously implicated in Antarctic sphere. China tourists already do up the other greatest team of visitors, other just to such of the U.S. The quantity of China tourists to Antarctica has grown up considerably in latter year, of less rather than 100 in 2008 to 3,944 in 2016. And if the cliff growth in concern of history year is whatever to go by, China visitors will quickly top the spreadsheet. In China print, the is introduced as the at first period how tourists can journey via a China carrier, Mr. Liu says. Of year he's very costly but it does demonstrate China's increasing concern in the area. With 2013, China has identified the Arctic regions as one of the nation's new strategy frontiers. And how tool wears a powerful policy will increase portion of how the steering of the poles will be profiled in the next. At the latter communistic side convention, Beijing's new 5-year schedule obviously set out how by the government requested to put enormous amounts of cash in projects to the research of the poles. Ultimately, China's vanity is how they will be capable to put Stryker his own suggestion to impact how the two Arctic regions will be regulated, Mr. Liu says. In spite the present sample of a upper of the menu spectacle all the way to the polar, largest China tourists of year get the regular path by flight vessel of Southward America. In reality, just 1% of tourists fly to the interior design of the mainland. A flying how conducted you to Antarctica and later ongoing onto the factual polar in else aircraft, how's very fair for the ladle listing human beings, tourists how very wish to checkmark off the southward polar and can provide he, Ms. Flanagan Blacksmith says.